It should be recording, huh?
It is. No, it hasn't started yet. Oh, yeah, it has its own tape. Yeah, I couldn't see the second thing. You can get the, you
I
can
need to
audit.
get you some glasses, bro.
I got some. I just don't. You're right. It's going. You see
Yeah,
how
it's running.
it's blending in with
Yeah,
the
it's
words.
running. It's running.
You can edit on all that stuff.
Good afternoon, senior class of 2021. How are y'all doing today? Thank you for that. Woo! Excited. Hey guys, I'm excited to be to talk to you guys today about your second senior meeting. We have a couple of things that we have to go over. Mr. Lacey is who I am. We will go over the senior events. What I have found out is that some parent folks haven't been receiving some of the information. So it's imperative that you follow us on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. So when we send out those media blasts, you can know the events that are coming up. It is also imperative that your parents' email in Skyward is correct. Everything that we've done this year, we've sent out in Skyward as well as on social media. So if you're not getting the announcements, if you're not getting the information through your Skyward, chances are that your email is incorrect. So we need to make sure that we update that. In the spirit of Mr. Sarpy, I want to remind you that now is not the time to get laxed. Okay, we need for you guys to finish strong. What does finish strong mean? Finish strong means that I'm going to make sure my grades and all my stuff is taken care of. When I come to school, I'm going to be about my business. I'm not going to get caught up in any shenanigans, if you will. I'm going to make sure that I don't put any barriers in my own way that will prevent me from graduating. So from this point out, we're on the home stretch, guys. Y'all have made it this far. You're doing oh so well. Make sure that you do all the things that you can do so that when graduation time gets here, for you personally, that there is no question marks. And 9 times out of 10, the biggest question mark is going to be academics and grades. So make sure your stuff is caught up. Make sure you're checking in with your teachers. Do not wait till the last second. Start doing it now, okay? It's stressful enough as it is, so don't wait. So I'm going to jump in right now to our senior activities that we have. On the 21st at 9 a.m., we have our first legacy ceremony. We will have remember this year, we won't have traditional senior breakfast. We won't have some of those events. So we're going to tie some things in our legacy ceremony. So it's very important that you show up, and not only show up, but be jazzy with it. All right, dress up. Change the side for me. Sorry about that. That's my bad. Where was I at? Get jazzy for it, right? Dress up. This is a big deal. We're gonna have your Skeeter Legacy pins that we have. We're gonna pass out some awards. We're gonna pass out some scholarships. We want you to look good because we want to honor you for all the hard work that you've done, as well as being a part of Skeeter Legacy. That is so important. We are the Mesquite High School, and there is no other school like us in our district. All right, next we have the virtual baccalaureate. This will be on Facebook, okay? It will be Facebook. We'll post it on links on YouTube, on Twitter, and as well as our Instagram. So you will be able to partake in this virtual baccalaureate. We had exceptional views, and I've put together a very nice program that I believe that y'all will be happy to partake in. So please make sure you check that out, comment, like, and share on that we're doing this so you can have some sense of normalcy as we end this COVID journey. Next, after the virtual baccalaureate, on the exact same day, we will have our senior bash. Okay, senior bash will be a little bit different this year because of COVID restrictions. So we will be here on campus the same day, May 21st, from 6 o'clock to 10 o'clock. Okay, 6 o'clock to 10 o'clock. It's free. Okay, everything will be paid for. We'll have movies going on in here. We will have a multiplicity of beverages for you to partake in because we can't have food. I would love to feed you guys, but our requirements say we can't feed you. So what we did do is we got a lot of cool drinks for you to drink and a lot of games that will be throughout main hall and in the gymnasium, so you guys can come. You can have some fun for a couple hours. There'll be photo booth for you guys to take pictures. There will be all kinds of stuff for you to do. So we want you guys to come on out, have a good time with that as well as we march on towards graduation. All right? Woo! I got about 3 people happy, but that's okay. I'm proud of y'all, and I'm going to pass it to Miss Rivera.
Okay, seniors, 2021. Let's hear something. Are y'all alive? Okay. A little bit. Okay, so I am one of the counselors.
Let's see if Wendy Olvia is in here for AP test.
Is Wendy Olvia in here? Calling Wendy Olvia.
Wendy?
In here? Okay, never mind. So I am one of the counselors that is helping with senior walk. And if you don't know what that is, it's where you go back to your old stomping grounds, the elementary school that you started this journey with, and you do a walk. It's really pretty cool. They usually have all the little students that are all lined up with signs, and they yell and scream for you in the hallway. And it's just a really cool way to go back and show your elementary teachers that you did it, that they helped you get where you needed to be. So we actually will have the information. It's already been given to your SFC teachers. There's going to be a Google Doc that you will fill out, and there also is going to be a permission slip. If we actually have 2 buses provided, you can drive yourself. But if you do not have transportation, we have it for the first 40 students. So it's going to be first come, first served. And so what you'll do is that you will get with your SFC teacher. They'll give you the URL. You get on the Google Doc. You sign yourself up. And then if you're going to ride the bus, you do the permission slip. And even if you're not, go ahead and fill it out so your parent does know what it is that you're doing. So the schools that we're going to be covering is Black, Moss, Shaw, Hanby, and Tysinger, pretty much in that order. So, I think it went off again. In that order. So again, that kind of gives you an idea if you're driving what the itinerary looks like. So if you have any questions or whatever, just come and see me in the counseling center. And other than that, y'all have a great day.
Yeah.
Oh, sorry. Here.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Yes. Thank you.
There you go.
Hey, seniors. So the last time that we talked, I didn't have a whole lot of answers for you. We have answers and details about graduation. What slide is it? I'm glad somebody's excited.
Great.
Okay, if you haven't ordered your cap and gown already, I put this, you need to do that yesterday. You take a picture, contact Jostens. Next slide. Cap and gown pickup will be on May 18th, face-to-face. So all of you will come to the visitor side of Hamby Stadium from 7:30 to 8:45 to pick up your cap and gown. And then VLA students can come between 9 and 10:15. Next slide. So details on cap and gown pickup. In order to be eligible to pick up your cap and your gown, you can't have any outstanding fines. So we have emailed through Skyward if you're on the unclear list, meaning you need to turn in a textbook, you owe some organization some kind of money. I think there's a lot of kids on there for outstanding AP tests. Get those taken care of before the 18th or you will not be able to pick up your cap and gown. You have to be current on your credits and eligible for graduation. So if you have credit recovery that needs to be completed or any Recover Learning that needs to be completed, you need to get that taken care of before the 18th so that you can pick up your cap and gown. If you have an IGC that you're waiting on and it hasn't happened yet, just wait, because after your IGC confirms that you're eligible for graduation, then you can pick up your cap and gown from your counselor later. The next opportunity, so you pick it up on Tuesday the 18th. If you don't come on Tuesday the 18th, the next time that you would be able to pick it up is June 1st. when we give tickets out. So I know some of you may have, I'll get there. Next slide. Okay, so when you come to cap and gown, you will get a green name sheet after you check in with your counselor, and that is your ticket to show Jostens that you're eligible to pick up your cap and gown. That same name sheet is also going to be used to go in the dash of your car when we do ticket pickup. You've got to keep up with that green name sheet. That's so important, because if that's in the dash of your car, then it's going to go much faster for picking up tickets on June 1st. See, Mr. Hill, you want to come talk about really quick? Your
They didn't move the slide.
They didn't move the slide. Great. Next slide. Can you tell them?
Sure. Next slide, please. There you go.
No.
Oh,
Go back.
go back. There. Where do you want it to go?
This is the one.
Still want to hear? Okay, right.
No, this is all out of order. Not yet. Still me. Sorry, y'all. Yeah, hold that. Okay. My phone's not updating live, so anyways. So if you don't attend cap and gown pickup, we're gonna send your stuff back to Jostens. The only reason that you wouldn't come on the 18th is if you've reached out to your counselor beforehand to say, like, I have an AP exam or I have a doctor's appointment and I'm not gonna be able to come. That's the only way we're gonna know to keep your gown here so that you can pick it up from us later. So what I want you to understand is, come pick up your gown on the 18th. If for some reason you absolutely can't come on the 18th, you need to reach out to your counselor beforehand so they know to keep your gown here. Any student that doesn't get to pick up their gown because of IGC or because of outstanding credits, we're gonna pull your gowns and keep them here so that as you finish stuff, you can go ahead and pick up your cap and gown from your counselor on campus. Okay, next slide. Okay, so this is what it's gonna look like. We're at Hamby Stadium. You're gonna be on the visitor side. So you can see on this map, you'll drive all the way in towards the back of the parking lot, park, and then walk towards the front gate. On the outside, that front gate has AA. It's on here as a heart. So that's where you'll enter. We will be checking to see if you're on the unclear list, meaning you have a fine. So if you have a fine, you'll be sent to the ticket booth at Hamby to pay your fine. If it's not a fine and it was a textbook that you needed to turn in and you turned it in, make sure you bring the note from your teacher saying that you turned it in with you. If you have your receipt because you pay beforehand, bring that with you. It just makes things easier because you can prove that you've done it. If you don't do that, we may not be able to give you your cap and gown that day. So you'll go in, you'll get in order. We're gonna put you in 3 lines by your last name. So we can stay socially distanced. And then you will go up to your counselor's table. They will check to see if you're good, no fines, if you're clear for graduation, and then they'll give you your green name sheet that you'll use for ticket pickup. And that's also your ticket to tell Jostens that you're clear with Mesquite High School and you can pick up your cap and gown from them. They will give you your cap and gown, and then you will check in with Mr. Hill and Mr. Walla to verify that they pronounce your name correctly at graduation. So I'm gonna let him talk. Now it's his turn to explain what to expect there.
Hey y'all, so Mr. Walla and I, we both have the privilege of reading off names at graduation. We've been doing this for years now, and so there's some best practices, some good and some bad things that happen, okay? First and foremost, there are over 600 people that graduate, and all of you have somewhere between 2 and 4 and maybe even 5 names. And I can guarantee you that we will not get every single name 100% correct. However, to help make sure that it's right, one of the stations that you go through after you get all your cap and gown stuff is going to be coming to talk to Mr. Walla and I, and we're going to check to make sure that we have your name correct. Not spelled correctly, but said correctly. So it doesn't matter if your name is Juan Carlos Sanchez or Ogene Rukewe Pisosa, and anywhere in between, we're going to make sure that we get your name right. But that is going to involve you coming and talking to us. I can tell you all of the funny stories in the past of how there have been students who have never told us what their names are, and they think, it doesn't matter, my name's easy. But I'll tell you, after reading off 600 names, we get tired, y'all. And so it can be a little draining once we get up there. But don't stress, we're going to make sure that your name is said correctly, but you're gonna have to come through and talk to us. With that being said, if you're not here on the 18th for whatever reason, follow up with us later, or we will reach out to you. We have a little bit of time to get all that stuff squared away, okay? That's it.
Tell them next slide. But of what you're going to do, I don't think have I made it clear that you have to keep up with your group? It's very important. Okay, it really will make your lives easier for the rest of pickup and cap and gown and all of that stuff. Another thing that I want to mention is if you're not able to come on the 18th to pick up your cap and gown, you will have to go to Jostens to pick it up, but before you can go there, you will have to come meet with your counselor to get your green name signed so that Jostens knows you can pick it up. So it's just gonna be easier if you come on the 18th. Okay, Mr. Craig is gonna talk about the big maroon event.
Yes, I am. Thank you.
Next slide.
Yeah, you can. Next slide.
I'm stuck.
Just want to stand there and stand up on me and I'll just talk about it.
Okay, I'll put my mask on.
Okay, so when I think about, first of all, I'm very, very proud of all of you. I know that at this point in time, you're probably like, man, we finally made it. But I can tell you one thing's for sure, and that is high school flies by and it becomes a memory. And so one of the things that we want to make sure is that your legacy stands in this school because it is the Mesquite High School. And so one of the events that we have is called the Big Maroon Event. Now, normally, the Big Maroon Event is something that we celebrate with our feeder pattern, and we're usually together. And it's going to be different this year. It's not going to feel quite the same because we're not going to be able to get with the feeder pattern. Normally, we try to connect the 8th graders with you all, and kind of talk to them about being a skeeter, and then we have the 5th graders involved, and they kind of know what it's like to be a skeeter. And we just want to kind of get that close family feeling, and we want to build it up over time. We're not going to be able to do that part, and that saddens me, but we are going to do, so what we do is we pair that with the senior community service project. So every year we have our seniors do a community service project, and now we're trying to incorporate that, or we've been incorporating that, into the Big Maroon event. So on this same day that you're going to be picking up cap and gown, on Tuesday the 18th, at 11:30 that day, you'll be meeting me and some other teachers, probably the same people that are helping out with cap and gown pickup, over at the small gym area, in which I'll have gloves and I'll have trash bags, and you're just going to walk. I'll have a path set out, and we'll break up into groups, and you'll just walk your neighborhood, and we're just going to clean the neighborhood just real quick. I'm going to make it as quick as possible because the fun part's really not going to be there, but I want you to be able to participate in it because we're going to take pictures, and we're going to document it, and then 5-10 years from now, when you look back and you'll look back at your legacy at this school, and I want you to be able to go through the hashtags and all that stuff and say, man, there's our group right there, and have those memories, because high school is a memory. And so at 11:30 on that day, you're going to show up over there. After you get back from the walk of just walking and cleaning the neighborhood, I will have food for you. I'll have pizza. We can't eat together, obviously, with the COVID rules, but I will have personal pizzas for you to be able to take with you. I'll have drinks for you to take with you whenever you get back. But it's a tradition, and just because of COVID, we're not going to break tradition. You're still going to be a part of the legacy of this school. Okay? Thanks, y'all.
You get 10 tickets. I didn't know how many you were going to get. You need to bring your green name sign in order to get your tickets. So I said on here that you or a Skyward contact can pick up your tickets. It's going to be way easier. Whoever has that green name sign, it's going to be easier. Next slide. So at ticket pickup, you'll get an envelope, and inside that envelope, it will have your 10 tickets, shot records, a business card size paper. It's, you know what a business, like a little tiny paper with your name on it, and it will have the pronunciation that Mr. Hill and Mr. Walla verify with you on the 18th. You need to bring that to graduation. So the things that you're getting on June 1st are very important to keep up with. You will get a blue name sign to pick up your diploma. The blue one is equally as important as the green one. I know, I see a lot of minds blown. You will get a medal in your envelope if you earned an endorsement, and you'll go ahead and get 5 programs for graduation, and you'll get your mask that you're supposed to wear at graduation. I want to tell you that I've heard some students asking about decorating their masks or decorating their hats. Don't do it. If you want to decorate it after the fact, that's up to you, but do not decorate your graduation hat or your mask, because it's just not worth it. They don't allow it. I know, boo. Okay, next slide. Now let's talk about graduation. June 6th, Curtis Colwell. Students and parents will be allowed to come in at noon. So you'll be allowed to arrive an hour before. Parking, you can either, and we sent a senior letter through Skyward. You should have gotten all this information already. But parking is $10. You can, if you want to park at Curtis Colwell, it's $10. You can buy that pass online beforehand, or they will let you pay there. Or you can park for free at Naaman Forest. It is far, though. So to paint a picture of how the free parking at Naaman, which is fine if that's what you want to do, but imagine you are at the last portable out here, and you have to walk to the portables behind V Hall. That's how far you're parking away. So if you, like, guys may not care, but if you're not wearing super comfortable shoes, that's a long walk. So when you arrive, you've got your mask that was in your envelope. You have your name card, the business card size. You will go straight in. When you come up, you'll come and you'll see a bunch of signs that you'll see us. You'll have to go through security at Curtis Colwell. They ask that you go ahead and have your gown unzipped so that you can go through security, and then you will go straight down and sit on the floor. We won't be in a holding room. We don't have a practice. We have to stay socially distanced. So as you arrive, you will go straight and sit, which also means that you'll sit in the order that you arrive, with the exception of top 10%. Those students will sit on the top 3 rows. And we'll indicate that on your name card so that you'll know where to go. Next slide. So the dress code, it's going back to being really formal. Ladies, dark shoes. Your dresses should not extend below your gown. If you wanted to wear pants, that's fine, but they need to be dark pants, and your hair needs to be a natural color. Gentlemen, dark shoes and slacks, a solid tie. Your shirt should have a white collar, and beards need to be trimmed so that they do not extend beyond your mask. So if your mask covers it, then it's okay. And then again, don't decorate your mask or your cap. And you can only wear the stole that the school gives you. The same with cords. You can only wear cords that the school gives you. You can't wear a cord from that you got at church or wherever. Next slide. I don't know, I know church was random, but whatever. Diploma pickup, it will be Tuesday the 8th from 10 to 2, and it will be the exact same procedure as ticket pickup was. You need your blue name card for that, and that will go much faster. We'll send more details out, maybe a map, when you pick up So you don't have to remember all this, but I'm just wanting to get all these dates on your calendar and your mind. Updates, next slide. Updates will come from Reminds, SFC. Make sure you're on social media, just like Mr. Lacey said. Did I leave anything out that you can think of?
Just that if they are face-to-face, they cannot come here in person.
Okay, so back to cap and gown pickup. If you're face-to-face, you can't ask your first period teacher if you can come over. You need to come straight to cap and gown pickup on the visitor side from 7:30 to 8:45 to pick up your stuff. Don't wait and try to do that during first period. Okay, last slide, I think. Okay. Anybody have any questions? Yeah. What's your question? Yeah, go for it.
So my question is, in terms of boards,
And graduation is about you. It's not just about you. Okay? It's not just about you. And he posed a very important question because I know a lot of you are going to be thinking, it's a lot of us, we might be able to get by, we might be able to sneak it in, we might be able to do this. But what you're gambling is you're gambling the opportunity for your family to see you participate in something that they have been supporting you in for quite some time. So you have to think, if I want to decorate my hat, is that worth not walking the stage? Is that worth my 10 family members sitting in the audience and me not seeing me walk across the stage? Is that worth me, if I have any shenanigans on the stage, is that worth me getting my diploma held up? Okay, so I know you want to be expressive. I know that you want to do some stuff that you want to do for you. Save that for after graduation. Save that outside. Save that for when you're with your family and you can enjoy and you can party and do those type of things. But don't risk being eliminated or canceled out of this ceremony because you choose to try to break a rule and get over it. This is not the time to not comply with dress code. This is not the time to try to get over and try to sneak something through. This is the time that we don't want any stress, no muss, no fuss, anything, so we can have a good time. Because although a lot of you know that principals, we enforce the rules, we do not make them. So these are the rules that we're going to enforce. If you come into the Curtis Colwell Center and you're getting checked in with your cap and gown open and you're out of dress code, you will be stepped to the side. If your beard, fellas, is not together, you will be stepped to the side. If your hat is taken away, if your hat is decorated, you'll be pulled to the side. If you have on anything that is not on this list that we showed you, you will be pulled to the side. This is not the time to gamble.
We don't have extra hats.
We don't have extra hats. We're not going to have extra tassels. You have to be prepared. Have what you are supposed to have. Do what you're supposed to do. This is the time that you're going to have to be mature enough to follow the rules explicitly. Because if you don't, what's going to happen is you will be pulled to the side and you'll be watching your classmates graduate instead of you being a part of it. That's not something that we enjoy to do. That's not something that we want to do. But if you're not following the rules, that is something we will do. So we're trying to give you this information ahead of time so you can know and that we can stifle out that inclination of doing something outside of the parameters in which we have already set forth. Does that make sense? Good, good. Any other questions?
You had one. Did it get answered? Somebody over here. Okay, perfect. Yes, ma'am. You're gonna have to say it louder. You have to wear black shoes. Yep. And they said at our graduation, I wrote on here dark shoes. Don't show up in white shoes. They said at the graduation meeting that we said, well, what if kids show up in light colored shoes? The response was that they'll have to go get new shoes. So don't show up and then be sent away to have to go to Target and get some shoes last minute. That's why we tell you now. Go ahead. Yeah. Okay. Yep, everybody needs a ticket. She asked about younger siblings. If they're sitting in a seat, they need a ticket. I know it gets sticky with like lap babies. I would call Curtis Colwell if I wouldn't show up and not know. I would call them. But they say one person equals one ticket.
Last question.
You can wear heels, but that's why I told you about how far the walk is. So just be mindful. The other thing is, as you're walking across the stage, you don't want to trip. So wear shoes that you're comfortable to walk in. When you walk on the stage, I mean, it's not the same as a tile floor. So just be thoughtful. If you're going to wear heels, I would wear some heels that you're comfortable walking in. Okay. That's it.
So if y'all have any more questions, just hit up the counseling center and that way we can address them for you. Okay, we're going to, hold on. We're going to dismiss starting at the back row. I want this left-hand side going out this door, starting at the back row. On this far right-hand side, I want y'all to go out to your right. Middle. I want you to go, everybody go out to my right. My right. Your left, my right. Everybody go out. There's a door for everybody. File out the back and go straight out the back door. If everybody goes to your left, my right, we won't have any intersection. Thank you for your attendance. We empower, we impact, we love. We are. That's what I'm talking about, baby.